Have you ever experienced a random taste that has no physical origin? You are not alone. This is called ClairGustance, and it is one of your soul's capabilities. It's a soul sense that I'd like to talk to you about. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, and welcome to the Constance Messmer Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So if you go to my website and check out constancemessmer.com, look at the About section, and click on your 11 soul senses or even the glossary, you will find my definition of ClairGustance. I'm going to read it to you now. It's the power or faculty of sensing a taste that has no physical origin, no physical source, especially providing insight into people, places, ideas, information, or events. It is the ability to perceive tastes beyond the range of physical perception. Now, the cool thing about ClairGustance is it's really usually localized to you. Like, I don't know that you'd necessarily have other people experiencing the taste at the same time, where some of the other ways that we get soul sensory information, a group of people might experience it at the same time, even clair olfaction, smell, right? Other people might be able to smell it. But ClairGustance, in my 3 decades at this work, really is localized to you. But hey, leave a note in the comments if you've had more than one of you experience it at the same time without letting the other people around you know what the taste is. Say, hey, I'm getting a random taste. Do you have a random taste in your mouth? What is it? Let's write it down on a piece of paper and then show the paper at the same time to see, compare notes, right? This would be a fun exercise, I think. With all the soul senses, your job is to determine, did this just land out of nowhere, or did I engage it to actively, in a soul sensibility way, actively engage my world and use it to garner more information or a greater, deeper experience in whatever you've got your mind and heart focused on in the moment. So ClairGustance, it is a soul sense ability of taste, and I think it's refined. I don't know that it's used often. Some people might have a refined sense and palate, and so it might be a way that messages come to them more frequently. I'd be curious about that too. If that's you, leave a comment below. I'd love to know that. I just for my own studies, right? Now that it's not just me and clients, but it's and me and spirit, right? But it's us in this community, right? And if you're an active subscriber or member on my channel, thank you so much for the support. It really helps spread the message and let me know that you're interested in this content and I should keep at it. And if you're just tuning in, thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad you're all here. I like ClairGustance. I think it's one of the ones that I really work at myself. So I encourage you to do so in the moment that you're having an experience that's a random taste or a phantom taste out of nowhere. Really sink into it. You know, with all the 11 soul senses, I always tell you to really milk the experience when you're having it. But with ClairGustance, I really want you to, on this whole other level, like hold it. How long can you hold it? Especially if it's fleeting, right? I think in recognizing it, honoring it, and really milking it and trying to discern, you know, what's the taste, what's the flavors, and what's this about will help fortify your experiences in the future. And also, it lets your soul know you're actively engaged in receiving this as a way of information, but also spirit realm. I think that this, again, like all the soul senses, can happen in a passive way when we're just doing life and it randomly occurs as a way of getting information or a message. But we can also actively seek it. I often do it when I'm talking to my soul and my chakras and saying, you know, what nutrition am I missing? What do I need? You know, I'll ask that of my soul self and then see what flavors and tastes come to mind. I'll also actively use it in participation with spirit realm I've told you this before, when I'm cooking or baking, I might ask my ancestors to gather around me in the kitchen and offer insight into, what flavors might make the dish more enhanced. That's a fun way for me to actively pursue my relationship with clairgustance. Usually, when it's a message from spirit realm that happens randomly out of nowhere and it's not a message from our soul, right? it- there's a reason that spirit's sending us this taste, right? And I always want you to pause and take notice, that ABC that I talk about: awareness, breath, care. Awareness that the experience is actually happening, taking a breath to honor it and say, okay, what is this flavor coming to me? If you have to, close your eyes, put your hands on your heart so you're more focused and concentrated in on really having and holding the experience. What is this about? What does this flavor entail? And where's it coming from? Like, who's sending me this and why is it coming? Is it just an attention getter? Sometimes, like with clairolfaction, the smell comes in as an attention getter, but sometimes with flavors, there's like, clairolfaction with smell, psychic smell, it's an attention getter, but it also can have a message in and of itself. This is the same with clairgustance. It could be an attention getter, random flavor, taste out of nowhere, no physical origin, but it could do that as to get your attention, but it could also be entryway into further conversation. So it could be, symbolic. The flavor could be symbolic of something, or it could be a message in and of itself. And so I think when we have these experiences, it's important to document them when you're just starting out. And if you want to know more on how you might use them, whether personally, professionally, or as a practitioner of, psychic work or giving reads and stuff like that, or energy healer, I think clairgustance happens more often than we realize, because sometimes it can be so fleeting, right? And our mind might be really in on all the other soul senses that you're strong with. If you've checked out my newsletter, you'll see that currently I'm offering the gift of a meditation to help you discover your psychic strengths. And in it, there's an experience with clairgustance. And don't feel one way or another if you have the experience or not. Everything is open to change if you're willing to put the effort in and the practice in, right? And this is why when we use clairgustance with manifesting, and like, sometimes we use it for manifesting healthier food choices. We put ourselves in that spirit place and really concentrate on good, flavorful, healthy foods, and seeing ourselves in the fit shape that we want to be, using that taste bud experience to help bring and fortify that manifesting of what we desire, right? For the lifestyle we desire, for the health we desire, all this kind of stuff. It's really important. Listen, also, tastes have associative memories, maybe to people, places, things, experiences, and also cultures, right? I, as a practitioner of the work, I've had taste experiences come in readings, whether to help me deliver a message of cultural origin to someone, and or about trips, right? That's always been fun. And literally, as a practitioner of doing psychic development work or psychic work or reads and stuff like that, you could actually ask, any of us can ask professional, if you want to enhance it on your professional level, in your professional world or in your personal life, ask, listen, this week, this is why I'm pacing these a week apart. This week, I really want to work on my clairgustance. And so I want to really significantly feel the impact of flavors in my experience so that I can deliver messages or receive messages through these kind of moments. And so when we're doing work as readers or mediums, I think it's a beautiful opportunity in a way to, get deliver and receive information. So I have used it when I'm paying attention to someone on the, do you see me concentrating, like I'm going, where are we going with this? When I'm tuning in as a medium, I'll open and be aware of all of my 11 soul senses, and taste being one of them. And I'll recognize, like, oh, I'm getting this flavor. Do you understand that? And sometimes it's a favorite dish, or it's something that they just made the other day. And if I were to take the message further, I could ask spirit, or is it about past or present? Is this about them or you, or what's the relationship to this food experience? And sometimes, it's just deliver the flavor and they'll know exactly because it's participatory. I want to do mediumship as participatory. So it all depends as a practitioner how the information comes to you and why it comes to you. And that's your job, right? And same with if it comes on a personal level. It's like, all right, when I sit with my maternal grandmother, like, it's a, hi, Grandma. Sometimes I will bring to mind her chicken noodle dish. Like she made this most amazing chicken and noodles. And I think I might have mentioned this to you before. And the flour and the density of the noodles, homemade noodles, and the chicken flavor, I would put that whole experience on my palate, right? The chicken with the bones and sorry if it's offensive to those of you that are vegans or vegetarians, but I would embrace the whole experience and the flavors in my mouth when I would participate in active communication with my grandmother, even now, to bring about some maybe nuances of the past that I had forgotten or she wants to remind me of. And so one of the ways we do that is a connection through taste. So you might want to bring it either as a practitioner in your experience or on a personal level when you're working to connect with those on the other side, loved ones that you had, cooking experiences with. And recognizing when you get these random flavors out of nowhere, who's this for? Is it for you or is it for someone that's around you? I've had friends where they've been out with other friends and they've had these random tastes come in out of nowhere. And it's a message, but not for them. It's for the person they're sitting with. And it's one of the ways, like maybe a grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, a father, a brother, whatever, could get a message across is I'm going to give you this taste because you're aware of this and you'll know what to do with it. And my loved one doesn't. They're new to this, so let me give it through you to them and let me just randomly airdrop it into your conversation. And this has happened to me before, but often it's happened to friends of mine who are familiar with the work or students I've taught where they'll like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what happened. I'm like, try me, I will. Your 11 Soul Senses, a journal for self-discovery, is something I created just for you. It is complete with definitions, writing prompts, and blank journaling pages to help you reconnect with your true essence and your soul sense abilities. To get your copy, visit my shop or go to constancemessmer.com. And thanks for tuning in. So I think it's really cool to break apart what is the clairgustant experience and why is it coming to you. This is also important on a professional level if you're using it and you're keen on your soul sensibility of taste and how you might use it to kind of consider new proposals or new pieces of information or pitches or directions for the work and how you might kind of work with your sense of taste. Does it leave a sour taste? Is it a good taste? Like these kind of symbolic images, noticing, what is the experience? What is the experience? And when it hits you, or if you're just tuning in to go, okay, I'm just going to sit with this proposal or this project or this person or this company. Do I want to go in this direction? And you're using all your 11 soul senses, maybe dip into clairgustance taste. Like, how does this taste? Does it leave a foul taste? What's this connection about? And see where you can take it from there. Just recognizing that it's one way that you can actively engage your soul senses. So you can actively engage it or it can randomly happen to you, clairgustance. And I want you to recognize that you're not imagining those random flavors that come across your palate. That when they happen, your job is to harness and understand kind of what the signal is, what the message is, and what you're supposed to do about it. And you know me, right? You know me. Take it to the end. Take it all the way to the end. Is there more? Is there more? Is there more? Did I get that right? Do I understand that clearly? For those of you that are listening on audio podcasts, I've got my pointer finger and thumb together. And like I always do to connect to truth, highest truth, pitching me up to that higher frequency of vibration. I've always done that in my life. I think it came in from another incarnation. Yeah, it's just really this wanting to know truth and connect to the highest good. And so often you can take the experience of a taste or tune into a taste more deeply and clearly to understand what is the message, what is the signal that's coming in this random way on my palate, right? and how knowing how you might engage it further. And much like I said last time we were together in regards to clear olfaction and smells, I would begin a symbolic literal glossary of your own. I offer my journal, Your 11 Soul Senses, or a lot of blank notebooks in my shop that you could start documenting your findings in your practice to help kind of find out your fine tuning and how taste shows up for you as a soul sensibility that you can engage in your world or understand messages that are coming in from this different frequency or this different layer of consciousness and what those messages mean. What are the certain tastes and what's your kind of your glossary of understanding for it, because it's a personal journey. And like I started this with, I think that a lot of times clairgustance only happens to you. It's not an experience that everyone else is picking up. And let me know if you've had it otherwise, but I really think it's hugely personal. And so, because they're your taste buds. They're your taste buds. They're your taste buds. So I think it's cool when it happens. I think it's so cool. So, as with all of the soul senses, don't forget to just take a moment and recognize like what was happening when this came in randomly. And, if you're actively engaging and tuning in and using all your 11 soul senses to have communication with spirit guides, angels, loved ones on the other side, divine consciousness, your soul, all of these levels, that's one thing. And if you're opening up to all of it, that's one thing. But if you have a random taste that appears out of nowhere, what were you just thinking about? What has your mind been focused on? Are you working on a project that you're hoping for more and greater insight in? And this is a way, maybe it's shown up in a dream. Tastes can happen in dream time too. And so your job is to discern what's the meaning of this. You unravel the mystery. You unravel the mystery. That's your job. Because it's your taste buds, right? And you're going to have your own kind of glossary of meaning to that. And I want you to honor that. I want you to pay attention and honor that. I think that would be so cool. And it would be a great gift to yourself, right? You know how I feel. I think that the soul senses are skills that we can master. I think we're all born with them. We just need to work them in our own spiritual practice. This is not like, Constance, wave your magic wand, bequeath me, and transfer all what you know into my heart, mind, soul. You got to sit on the mat. I did. You got to sit with spirit. You got to sit with your soul. You got to engage your senses in your moments of interaction with these messages that come from these higher states of consciousness, these higher expanded awareness spaces, and use them to your advantage. That's why they're happening, is to give you information, right? To give you information on some level about something. And so check out my website where it reminds you it's providing insight to people, places, ideas, information, or events. And then your job is to interpret it. Your job is to interpret it. And it might be obvious what the meaning is and the significance is and the signals about, or you might have to really close your eyes, spend time with it. And, it might be multi. Spirit especially loves like double entendres, multiple meanings. So be okay if you get more than one meaning, because there's probably more than one meaning. All right. Okay. So I'm asking spirit, like I always do. Is there anything else? Yeah. Yeah. If you want to check out more and do the exercises, I have previous episodes that I did on clairgustance exercises that you can do to strengthen it. A previous episode on clairgustance to learn more about it. So thank you so much for tuning in. I believe in you. This is why I'm delivering this content and information and asking you to engage in it and asking you, did I even say the other sentence right? Asking you to actively engage in your soul senses and actively ascertain these greater spaces of awareness and interaction with your world, with your life and your world and your magnanimous soul. So I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in.